So, the new Resident Evil 4 DLC, Separate Ways, was released. Additional content that came with the base game in 2005, yet had to release 6 months later. And is also $10. To be clear, I really enjoy the Resident Evil 4 remake. I have all the base game achievements and have a ton of hours into it. I also love the original Resident Evil 4 and can clearly see why people consider it to be one of the greatest games ever made. Is the remake better? Not exactly. I think it made some steps in the right direction, such as the extensive use of your knife, as well as the meteor melee abilities and gameplay surrounding shotguns. But really lacked when it came to enemy poise and how they aren't stunned from a single shot to the head with a pistol, as well as the overall atmosphere of both games, which the remake definitely lacks in.
Tell someone who gives a shit.
Regardless, I can enjoy both games and acknowledge their differences. But it's time to review the DLC, Separate Ways. The difference in release already makes an impression with non-consumers and OG Resident Evil 4 fans. Separate Ways came with Resident Evil 4 in 2005. No bullshit, no waiting, and no paywall. I don't understand why Capcom couldn't just push the game back till something like October 2023. I think it would have been the greatest PR move to release a remake of a beloved game with all of its content for only $60, but of course greed will always overcome passion in modern gaming. However, it is safe to say that the remake of Separate Ways is considerably better than the original. In some ways. On that note, let's just address it. Ada's voice actor is fucking awful. No matter how much you white knight her, she is completely overshadowed by every other VA in the game who actually gives a shit about their performance. Leon, Luis, Ashley, while not every one of their lines is gold, you can tell they're putting their heart and soul into the voices of these characters. Ada's VA, throughout the entire game, just can't help but give these emotionless, deadpan, fucking one-off quotes.
This is where we say goodbye.
Fuck's sake, some of her lines literally sound like outtakes.
What terrible actions will be done in its name, and who will pay its dark cost? Dark cost, dark cost, dark cost.
Listen to that again and tell me that doesn't sound like a first take. Even in emotionally driven moments during the game, she can't perform. She fucks it up and completely ruins the scene.
I don't understand. It should be working by now.
Take the ember and go. Once the parasite is sedated, you can give me back that damn stone.
I can't leave you here. Not like this.
Spare me. I'll be fine.
She just sucks. I didn't notice her as much in the base game, but that's probably because she doesn't get nearly as much screen time as she does in Separate Ways. And God, she talks a lot, and you just have to deal with it.
A clean strike.
What? That's not Ada, bro. Ada would never say anything like that.
Bit of advice, try using knives next time. Works better for close encounters.
Leon.
A clean strike.
Okay, enough about Ada. Let's get to the real meat of the game. First off, the level design is much better than the original. In 2005 RE4, you played through mostly the same areas as Ada, with a few moments taking place in new arenas. But the whole thing was pretty short-lived. Also, the remake is significantly longer, allowing for more areas to be shown. In the remake, you do go through some of the same locations as Ada, but there's a lot more areas taking place in the outskirts of levels, such as the castle and village. We also get to see areas cut from the original game and put into Ada's storyline, such as the drill puzzle, which is a bit better designed now in my opinion. The laser room and the gondola ride are also back. For gameplay, it's mostly the same. The crossbow's back, and it's pretty decent. There's not much to say regarding the general flow of fighting enemies because it plays like the base game, which should be fine. But it's also a problem in regard to Ada being pretty slow. I don't think there's any difference between the running speed of Leon or Ada. Leon isn't exactly slow, but he's not lightning fast. It's understandable, however, considering he's carrying around those fucking legs of his, which are registered as lethal weapons across the entire world. But Ada is supposed to be super nimble. I mean, that's why she swings around all over the place and has a focus on stealth. Maybe it would ruin the balance of the game, but I think having her be a little faster on her feet would do a lot for how the game feels. Speaking of stealth, there's a lot more of it in Separate Ways than in the base game. It is still not good. If you thought the main story had forced stealth, you're gonna shit your pants with how they present stealth in Separate Ways, where every dumb fuck enemy has their back turned to you for easy kills. I wish the time they had to make this DLC they would revamp stealth a little bit for Ada, like let her do a crouch run that enemies can't hear, or give her a drop attack that you can use in tangent with your hook shot, at least something to show that you're not playing a reskin Leon. As for bosses, they're pretty fun. The first couple fights with Verdugo are really lame though. You get to fight the giant in the village, and it's a really good fight. You use your hook shot to get up to the rooftops of buildings and shoot him from below, but as you fight, he destroys the buildings you're on, so you have to keep moving. It's really cool. You know what's not cool? Running out of fucking ammo, which is exactly what happened this fight, and I was left with only my knife. Okay, this is not a joke anymore. I am completely out of ammo. All I have left in my name are these fucking boot knives, and that's it. This guy is still standing. How the fuck am I supposed to do this? I don't know how this happened because I wasn't missing every other shot, and I picked up all the drops left from crates and destroyed buildings. Maybe it was a bug because on the second attempt I killed him with no problem, but this really highlights one of the main flaws with the game. In the original, no matter what difficulty, I never had an ammo problem. There was always enough from enemy drops, but for some reason in the remake, I can recall at least 3 or 4 times within the last 6 hours of playing where I completely ran out of ammo and was rendered next to useless. Anyway, you go through the castle, eventually reaching the island where you fight Verdugo for a 3rd time, or so you think. Turns out it's actually the U3 boss from the 2005 game, the one that people complain about being cut from the remake's main story. I think it's a really hard boss, and it tested my patience on many occasions. Honestly, at one point I thought I would have to restart the whole game because I didn't upgrade the right guns. But as I got better at the fight, I was just barely able to kill him. You don't actually end up fighting Krauser in the remake like you do in the 2005 game, which is kind of disappointing, honestly, but at least we get to fight him a lot in the main story, which was really fun. Still wish we got another knife fight with him as Ada. I think it would have been really cool, personally. After U3, you go to save Leon and fight Sadler. The fight with Sadler is not good. All you do is play Ring Around the Rosie with the pillars and shoot him when you have a chance. It's really boring. Also, I think I'm getting deja vu here.
Behold the power of the
I ran out of ammo. Ow. That's it. So, now I only have a knife. That's it. That's it. I can't craft anything. I am completely out of ammo. This game is so fucking cool. That's right. I ran out of ammo again while fighting Sadler. Like, what the fuck? All of my shots and grenades connected, but I guess it didn't matter. The silver lining was that I apparently have insane luck, or the game just took pity on me. He died. Oh my god, he's actually dead. He's actually fucking dead. So you beat Sadler and toss the rocket launcher to Leon. The game ends. You know how it goes. Overall, the DLC is okay. I had fun with it, and I would say for the $10 price tag, it's worth your money. The only problem is, a lot of people really just don't give a shit anymore. When you remake a game as renowned as Resident Evil 4, there's a lot of expectation for you to do things right. The 6-month delay of Separate Ways was not doing things right. If anything, it just pissed people off and had them make the claims that this game was for the lowest common denominator of gamers. It didn't help that Mercenaries had to launch about a week after the release of the main game and was missing a lot of its content. It just seems like that's the standard for games now. Release the game as fast as you can to meet deadlines and appease shareholders and finish it later. It's fucked up, and the fact that the original game came with all this stuff at launch sucks even more. If this DLC released on the same day as the remake did, I think a lot of people would be satisfied, including me. The whole time I was just questioning what the reason for the delay was, because there weren't any new or interesting mechanics that blew me away. The only thing I can think of was that it wasn't finished from the start and Capcom had to make a quick buck before they finished it. Either way, Separate Ways is fun. Get it or don't, it doesn't matter. Gaming is dead. Later.